Welcome back to another episode of DAS with your boy, Sean Mack. And today we're going to be discussing Chris Henry, tragic tale. On December 16 of 2009, NFL player Chris Henry sustained injuries when he fell out of a moving truck driven by his fiancée, Lalini Tonga. Chris Henry died the next morning due to his injuries. This is a tale of don't judge a book by its cover, because it might not even be a book. Remember, if you like today's content, make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the video. So let's go.
I need a police officer on Oak Road. I'm riding behind a yellow truck. It's a F-150. The tag says it's got a black man on it with no shirt on it. And he's got his arm in a cast. He's got some black pants on. He's beating on the back of this truck window.
I'm on Oakdale Road. I just pulled up and there's a lady there's a man in the road. He looks dead. There's no movement.
On December 16 of 2009, Henry sustained injuries when he fell out the back of a moving truck driven by his fiancée, Lalini Tonga. While they were engaged in a domestic dispute, Tonga had 3 children with Henry. The very next day, on December 17 of 2009, Charlotte's police announced that Henry had died at 6:36 a.m. Eastern Time at Carolina's Medical Center from the injuries he sustained in the domestic dispute. 2 days later, on December 19, police confirmed that Henry died of blunt force trauma to the head. No charges were filed against his fiancée, and police announced that they found no evidence that Tonga drove recklessly or with excessive speed. There was no alcohol in Henry's blood at the time of this incident. On December 20th, 3 days after Henry's death, the Bengals traveled to Qualcomm Stadium to face the San Diego Chargers. As with all the other Week 15 games, a moment of silence was held before the kickoff. Bengals wide receiver Chad Ochocinco, a close friend of Henry's, openly wept during the silence. Later in the game, on his first touchdown reception, Ochocinco dropped to his knees and paid tribute to Henry in the end zone. In June of 2010, the Brain Injury Research Institution of West Virginia University released a report that Henry had developed a brain disease called chronic traumatic encephalopathy, better known as CTE, during his playing career due to multiple hits to the head. While several former NFL players have been found to have this disease after their deaths, Henry was the first still active NFL player to be diagnosed with it. The discovery that Henry had CTE has become a serious issue of concern for football and brain safety, especially since Henry was relatively young and had never been diagnosed with a concussion in any of his 5 NFL seasons or during his college career at West Virginia. The latest research indicates an accumulation of lesser blows can cause brain damage. It was also believed that the brain damage Henry suffered may have been a factor in the numerous off-the-field incidents he was in. Henry's CTE was confirmed by an autopsy after his death. He was one of at least 345 players to be diagnosed after their deaths with this disease. After his death, Henry's mother made a decision to donate his organs for transplant. Henry's cornea, lungs, kidneys, heart, liver, and pancreas was transplanted, saving the lives of 4 people. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the game of football in the NFL will not be the same game in 20 years that we're accustomed to and that we're used to now because of CTE. It hit hard, the issue, but it didn't, I don't think it really resonated because the NFL swept it under the rug as much as possible, but it will blow up and will come to the forefront one day, and I'm leading that charge. As always, I got some notes, I got receipts. I got a few long receipts today, 3 of them, but I'm gonna get through it as fast as possible. Remember, if you like today's content, make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the video and to the channel, and make sure you hit your notifications so we be all in your notifications when we drop our videos. Number 1, what made Chris Henry act in such a manner on the day of the incident? It was CTE. A lot of people don't want to believe it, or the NFL trying to sweep it under the rug, but it was CTE. Chris had the youngest case of CTE found in someone after their death. He was the first active player to be diagnosed with CTE. When we think of CTE, we think of an old grizzly veteran playing in the mud for 15 years and dents on his helmet and stuff like that. But it come to find out, it's not like that. Chris was a young man. He played 5 years in the NFL. He played college, a few years, and then Pop Warner in high school. And they've never seen someone's brain like that at such a young age. He was still active, actually playing with CTE. Unlike Junior Seau, they find out later after you retire, you go to acting up. He was acting up and he was still playing football. He was still active at the moment. Number two, were there any signs leading up to his death that this could possibly happen, that he had any signs of CTE? Yes, they were. I'm going to read off some incidents that he got into off the field, so bear with me. Won't be looking at you all the time, so bear with me. In 2005, speeding down the highway with weed, no jail time. 2006, gun charges, aggravated assault with a firearm, no jail time. In 2006, again, allowed 3 underage females to consume alcohol in a hotel room in Covington, Kentucky, no jail time. Still going on. Also, again, in 2006, driving drunk in Ohio. His blood alcohol level was 0.012, over the limit, no jail time. In 2007, arrested for assaulting a valet attendant, no jail time. In 2008, punched an 18-year-old and threw a beer bottle through his car window. Chris was waived by the Bengals that day after the arrest, and he was put on house arrest. He had a few other charges that I didn't put in here just for time constraint and just not to let it lag on too long, but you can go out and Google and check out his other charges. With that being said, how can these things be prevented? What should a wife, a girlfriend, or a baby mother do when she see that her husband, boyfriend, or baby daddy, who's an athlete in the NFL, is starting to act up? Because we have to start cut it off at the head, right? We have to stop letting this happen, the incident happen, then say what we could have done. In my opinion, the NFL should have a system in place where the woman can call and report certain incidents. They can report it to the NFL. The NFL collects data. Then the NFL reach out to doctors and therapists who would then reach out to the athletes and get them some help the best way that they can. Because to me, it's something missing in the middle. The people catch the CTE, they go to acting up, and then the incident happened, and then we're backtracking. We need to cut it off in the middle somehow and acknowledge that these people have problems and what we can do about these problems. So to me, like I said, it should be a system in place where the women can call and report the incident. Then the NFL can contact doctors and therapists and brain researchers and people who deal with CTE, because CTE can only be diagnosed after the person is dead and they need to get into that brain, like I like to say. But then the therapist would reach out. The therapists get it from the NFL, and then the therapists and doctors would reach out to that athlete, because I'm pretty sure they would love to know that people understand the situation that they're going through and that someone is there for them and that someone is in their corner, if you feel what I'm saying. We need to get help, and we need to do that. I just want to say rest in peace to Chris Henry. Remember, if you like today's content, make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the video in the channel and hit the notification buttons, as I said earlier. Please do. A lot of people aren't. Come on, hit them. I'm gonna let you get on out of here. As I said, I'm gonna let you get on out of here. I won't keep you too long. My final message to all, don't always assume why and what someone is going through and why they do the things that they do, because one day you may be in a similar situation and you would want people to give you the benefit of the doubt. On that note, I've been Sean Mack, and this is Death After Sports. Chris Henry.